Devil fruits. Devil fruits are the epitome of strength in One Piece, unless you're in the ocean, because even my goldfish, poor Oscar, who is probably radioactive in the sewers, can make sure they get isekai'd into another world. But you know what's even better than devil fruits? Robin. Just kidding. Awakened devil fruits. But I mean, also, Robin. Because of Luffy's Gear 5 awakening, I can't help but wonder how many awakened devil fruits are there. And who is the strongest one out of all of them? Well, lucky you, because after a whole lot of research and some intense debating with myself in the mirror, I've come to give you the top 10 strongest awakened devil fruit users in One Piece. On top of that, I'd like to say welcome back to Anime Donut, where we try to give you the best anime news and videos on YouTube. Number 10, the Jailer Beasts. Starting off this video that would probably make everyone hate me are these guys. Yes, these guys might look like something straight out of a kindergarten class afternoon drawing, but trust me, if you're an impel down, it might be in your best interest to stay the away from them. The Jailer Beasts are one of the most ruthless and powerful guards in Impel Down, and just like the title of this video, they are all awakened Zoan Devil Fruit users. So let's get to know these monstrosities one by one, shall we? First up is Minotaurus. As you can guess, he is literally a minotaur. His devil fruit is still unknown, but we all know it's gotta be something like the cow fruit or something. Even after getting his with Luffy's jet bazooka and Buggy's muggy ball, this guy was still ready for that smoke. Then we have Mino Rhinoceros, which, if you're smarter than a 5-year-old, you could guess that he looks a little bit like a rhinoceros. Just like Minotaurus, his devil fruit is still unknown, but it's most likely like the rhino fruit or something. He uses these two massive clubs to just pummel down everything in front of him, and if I saw that, I would just go back into myself. The third member of this clown show is this guy. He's probably the worst looking out of all of them, Mino Zebra. He just kind of looks funky, dude. That long, luscious pink hair and the snot coming from his nose is just mwah. Assuming that he has the awakened zebra fruit, he's basically on the same level as the others. Lastly, we have Mino Koala. I swear Oda just got tired of naming his characters at this point. Yup, same as the other three, he is an awakened Zoan fruit user, and he probably ate the koala fruit. Because, I don't know, what else do you think it could be? But take note that all of them don't think like you and I do. They're dumber, or maybe they think like you. Anyways, even though they are really strong, they became feral because their awakenings were a failure, which is one of the dangers of awakening a Zoan-type devil fruit. But this is only one of the 10 awakened devil fruit users we'll be talking about, well, 4 technically, in this video. So stay tuned to the end because you might see a character that you didn't expect to appear. Number 9, Guildtessero. Moving on, we probably have the devil fruit that everyone would love to have, if they weren't paying attention. This guy is the Casino King, and probably one of the richest characters in all of One Piece. Guildtessero awakened his devil fruit called the Goro Goro no Mi, or the Go-Go fruit, which means that my man can literally control gold using his mind. Capitalism at its finest. But do you remember why I said that you had to pay attention? Well, it's because before he could manipulate the gold, he had to touch it. Yeah, if that ain't a nerf, I don't know what is. That's basically why my man's has to live in a gigantic city ship filled with it. When he uses his devil fruit, he can turn it into liquid, create traps, and even manipulate other people or turn them into gold statues when he mixes gold dust with their skin. I mean, I would just turn people into gold and then sell them. Other than that, he can manifest golden armor on himself and other people, as well as strengthen it to the point where Zoro couldn't slice through it. When he awakened his devil fruit, he could even shoot attacks similar to Kizaru that were able to destroy an entire warship with one hit. One hit! With an increased range and even more powerful attacks, this man can only be beaten by plot armor in his own turf. His only weakness? Just put him on an island. He's practically useless at that point since there's no more gold. Number 8, Kaku. Now enough Paramecia types, we're back with the funky animals. This time, we have a man who literally turns into a giraffe. He's a swordsman, but why a giraffe? I don't know what was going through this man's mind when he ate his devil fruit. I mean, that long neck has gotta cause some huge problems. But there are some actual benefits as well. Kaku ate the Ushi Ushi no Mi model giraffe, and he had an increase in both strength and durability, traits he definitely lacked as a human. And you'll definitely lose your life because even if he is really weird looking when in his beast and human beast form, he is definitely a tough opponent to deal with. My man even uses his neck to attack, which was supposed to be his weakness. When he fully awakened his Zoan type devil fruit, he became slimmer, bigger, and his neck became even longer. Now if that ain't an upgrade, I don't know what is. He also has those flame thingies that surround his body, just like Luffy did when he unlocked Gear 5. But other than increasing his physical abilities, his awakening didn't have much to offer, which is why he's ranked down this far on the list. However, he did give post-Wano Zoro somewhat of a challenge, so that does say a lot. Number 7, Don Doflamingo. But you know who's not useless? This guy. We all know who he is. Some hate him, some love him, but everybody agrees that he's so damn strong. And he's got that drip. But that's not the only thing he has, because he is a literal psychopath. I mean, he killed his own brother and father just because he felt they betrayed him. With a former bounty of 340 million, it's no wonder he's one of the most dangerous warlords of the sea. But what's his devil fruit? Well, if you just watch One Piece through spoiler clips on TikTok or Facebook, let me enlighten your little weeb brain. Or maybe you're just like Dory. Anyway, he ate the Ito Ito no Mi, or the string fruit, where he can manipulate and create razor-thin and incredibly sharp strings that deal some serious damage. It can not only hurt his opponents, but it can also block attacks as well as make it into a barrier that can even stop Haki-infused attacks, which even stopped Diamond Josu. He can destroy entire countries with it, cut his opponents into pieces, and even control them like puppets. How crazy is that? My man basically became Spider-Man at one point when he attached his strings to clouds. When he awakened it, he could control even non-living entities and turn them into strings as well, giving him an almost unstoppable amount of resources and attack patterns when in a fight. Number 6, Eustace Kid. Enough of the strings and gold, let's embrace modernity, because modern problems require modern solutions. Can't believe I just said the word modern 3 times in a row. Eustace Kid, as we all know, is every junk hoarder's worst nightmare. He ate the Jiki Jiki no Mi, or the magnet fruit, which basically allows them to manipulate anything that has metal in it. I know what you're thinking. Yes, Eustace Kid is the Magneto of One Piece. With his devil fruit powers, he can repel or attract metal objects like cannonballs, swords, or bullets. So basically every known weapon in the world of One Piece. He can also manipulate the metals that he attracts using his magnetic field into anything he basically wants, like a giant arm or an insanely large cannon that could blow away an Emperor of the Sea. My man literally made a pirate transformer using his Punk Rotten and had an electromagnetic cannon that he calls Damned Punk that dealt some insane damage to Big Mom. This was even enough to scare Shanks. My man here is creating the arsenal of the entire United States Navy. When he awakened the Jiki Jiki no Mi, he gained the ability to give others magnetic fields, and now his target attracts metals instead of him. So, what's his weakness? Well, if you haven't guessed it, he needs a bunch of metal in his surroundings in order to use his devil fruit. And that's why he dragged around an entire scrapyard during the raid on Onigashima. Number 5, Charlotte Katakuri. Kid's devil fruit was crazy, but this next one might be the most unique awakened devil fruits yet. It's definitely not every day that you see powers in anime solely based on food. Yes, everyone's favorite thing in the world, and best of all, one of the best desserts in all of Japan, mochi. Katakuri ate the Mochi Mochi no Mi, which allows him to transform into mochi just like how Luffy can turn himself into rubber. He's also basically invulnerable to any attacks that doesn't have Haki infused with it, because of the special effects of this Paramecia type Devil Fruit, which mimics that of a Logia. When he punches it, kinda looks like, let's save it for later. Katakuri even has an attack where he makes his fist shoot out like a rocket by inflating his Mochi arm to the point where it explodes because of the pressure. When he awakened his Devil Fruit, he even took it a step further. He can transform the ground into Mochi, suffocate his opponents with Mochi, shoot out tentacle-like Mochi attacks, and make Haki-infused additional arms from a donut-shaped Mochi formation. And he can summon these too, in an ungodly amount of times, around his opponents. Basically anything that involves Mochi, this man can do. Number 4, Rob Luchi. Let's face it, if you've read the manga, we all know we hate this guy. My boy acted all friendly when Luffy smoked him with Gear 5, and when the world government arrived, he stabbed them in the back. What the hell? So, what's his Devil Fruit? Well, this fight with Luffy was iconic, so most of you probably know he has a Zoan type fruit, the Nico Nico Nomi model leopard. He can turn into a leopard with pants, and has a human beast form where he wears a suit. Just like other Zoan type Devil Fruits, the only effects on him are the increase in his physical abilities, and his awakening was pretty much the same as Kaku. Luchi also has his awakened form, which is pretty badass in my opinion. Apart from his other techniques like Rokugan and Baki, he now gained Shugen, where he stabs his target with his entire hand. Not a finger like the other CP9 operatives, but with all 5 of his fingers. Sentomaru did not know what hit him. In his awakened form, he was even able to shake off Luffy's Gear 5 attacks, but that didn't last very long. Even though he's a snitch, I admit, his Devil Fruit awakening is pretty badass. Number 3, Trafalgar Law. Now, we are in the big 3 of the strongest awakened Devil Fruit users in One Piece, and who better to start it off than Trafalgar Law, the Surgeon of Death. That nickname just hits different, man. I mean, you gotta have a huge ego if you're called that. Law might not have a big ego, but he definitely has something big and long. It's his sword. Calm down. And that's because of his Devil Fruit awakening that we're going to talk about. Even when it wasn't awakened, Law's Opi Opi Nomi was so powerful that he was able to manipulate space inside a certain area. He can teleport, swap souls, reassemble body parts, mutilate his enemies without killing them, and make them internally bleed without giving them so much as a scratch, which is a huge flex. When he awakened his Devil Fruit, he can now apply his rooms to objects, and he called it the K room. With our room, he can now throw a room to his target and make it have a specific effect. Basically, he has no weakness now, because his rooms aren't stationary. He even stabbed Big Mom with his really long sword, which is pretty weird to hear now that I'm thinking about it. Anyway, he's just OP, which sounds great because his Devil Fruit is the Opi Opi Nomi. Get it? Number 2, Douglas Bullet. Here's an awakened Devil Fruit user that you probably didn't know had an awakened Devil Fruit. He's a badass and a terrifying opponent, and I would poop my pants if I saw him in person. Meet the former Roger Pirates member, Douglas Bullet. So what is this beast of a man's Devil Fruit? Well, it's called the Gasha Gasha Nomi, or the Clank Clank Fruit. Basically, this fruit gives Bullet the ability to reconfigure any inanimate object into anything he wants, from giant robots to basically even a warship. Anything he can imagine, he can make. But if that wasn't overpowered enough, once awakened, the range increases and he can even change the environment itself. During One Piece Stampede, Bullet literally made an exoskeleton the size of an entire island they were fighting in, and he can even infuse Haki into the mech's attacks. With this Devil Fruit, Bullet was able to decimate the supernovas. One weakness of this Devil Fruit though is that Bullet has to know exactly what he's making. So since he's created a literal Gundam, he's not only strong but incredibly smart as well. Number 1, Monkey D Luffy. Finally, at number 1, we have the indomitable, the unconquered, the highest, most powerful awakened devil fruit user to this day in One Piece, Monkey D Luffy, and his Gear 5. Yeah, baby! We all knew this was coming, and we saw how he beat down Kaido with this form. It was the first time since the Void Century that the Gomu Gomu no Mi was awakened, and it was revealed as the Hito Hito no Mi model, Nika. If you thought Luffy's rubber powers were ridiculous before, then this one takes it to a whole nother level. Because who knew Tom and Jerry could collab with anime? It is literally described as the most ridiculous power in the entirety of One Piece. In this form, Luffy is basically invulnerable, can make anything he touches into rubber, turn into a giant, grab lightning, and throw it at his opponents, make a fist larger than Onigashima, and literally use Toon Force. Oda's a freaking genius for thinking about that. An awakened Rob Luchi didn't even stand a chance. There's so much to discuss about Gear 5 that you would have to create another video just for it alone, but to sum things up, Luffy's Nika is the peak of awakened devil fruits, as of now. So that was our pick for the top 10 awakened devil fruit users of all time, but I know you have your own ranking, so why not comment down below on your top 10. After that, help a brother out by smashing that like button and subscribing for more videos like this one. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're up to date on all the content we have to bring you. This is Anime Donut, rolling out.